Hello there everybody, and welcome to a different kind of video with me. Please forgive the clicky click noise from my mouse because I'm going to be using that to go between photos and such just so that I can get a good look and explain to you in more detail. So this is my 2025 art roundup for the year, and I chose these 12 pieces. I used the exact same picture I used last year and just put these over it, so if there's any iffy looking bits, it's probably just showing through accidentally. My bad. Anyway, in January we started off with a Coral Island fan art piece. I had been really intensely enjoying it at the end of 2024, and so I kind of just got focused in on it for most of January, and eventually managed to get Yuri, the doctor from the game, and she is very pretty and very cute, and I tried to record it with OBS, but OBS did not record that shit, so I did a picture of these two in their wedding outfits as my design more for Lith, because you can't really be a little demon lady in that game. It's not really the design for the main character. But, you know, I took creative liberties when it came to my character Lith, who is the main character of my main story, but this is very much just like a very silly AU that has no implications for the main story. It was a really nice piece to work on. I did some background work. I liked adding the details on Yuri because she's a very detailed character. The tattoos were difficult, but really fun. And then we move into February. February was my really big project of drawing many of my animated crushes, favourite characters, babies, children from fiction that I care about. When I say babies and children, I mean characters who are fully grown adults that I treat as my children and who I must protect. And yeah, it was a really fun one. It was quite a big project and my wrist did hurt a little bit afterwards, but I got to draw so many of my favourite characters and that was a really great fun one. I can only show you one panel here, which is Matthew Patel, but check out that. I think it's on here on my shorts where you can see more of the characters, and if you go into my other profiles you can see sort of more of the descriptions of the characters as well. In March, and this was a piece that is part of a series I've kind of neglected since March of drawing characters of mine with Neopets paintbrushes applied to them. This one was Relic. I gave it a sporty bun and it was a really interesting one to do, another bit of fun with playing with backgrounds. I don't really do too much of that in the later half of the year, so and by later half I mean after this. I think there's one actual background. Let's move on to one that isn't. I was drawing Mascot Kai. Obviously I've drawn this character a lot this year, a lot, and they're going to appear 2 more times in this, so it's not really been a big year for my other comic because I'm in the working of this one, because I'm really worried about just sucking on this massive project that I really love, art wise, writing wise, whatever, and so I'm doing this one with simpler to draw characters so that I can at least just get into the rhythm of creating in a reasonable pace. And yeah, this one was also a bit of a whine about my physical health issues. You can't see it here, but when it's on a dark background, the writing in white all around it, complaining about every health issue I freaking have. It's not even, actually, I miss out several. Anyway, May was a Lovestruck style, sort of lovesick Matthew Patel. I just want an excuse to draw him in the way that I kind of like dressing characters, and I kind of like dressing myself, but also being a little deviously evil, also completely an excuse to draw his teeths and make them a little bit sharp because I like that. It was really just a self-indulgent piece that I really liked working on. Next in June, it was this little animation I made inspired by the Portugal the Man song Freak in a T-shirt, that's what it's called. I don't know why I couldn't remember that there. This was animated and had some writing in the background. It's pretty much just another Venti post with Mascot Kai, but if they were an alien, and I think the design's pretty cute, so you can forgive me that this was not the most productive June. In July we had Art Fight, and Sugoi Seal's character Canis was my favourite one of who I'd drawn that time round. It's a really cool piece. I do have another video on that if you want to look into it more, but it was just so much fun to work on all the sparkles. It took me longer than a lot of the rest of the characters I did that project, so yeah, very fond, very fond. August was this piece of Moira, one of my favourite characters, Moira Bitmore. She's my OC. I am obsessed with her. It was based on a sketch that I'd done a really long time ago and never finished, and it's very typical of her. It's not a lot of clothes and a baseball bat. And another character that'll come later has a lot of her in them. And so yeah, I think it's pretty obvious I have a real bias for my baby girl, Moira. And in September I did a redraw from, what's the name of this? Superstar Mega Hits something #1. I'll put it in the description. It has a really long name. It's a budget rhythm game from the PS1, so really old, but the art of this character was really cute and I wanted to draw the character somewhere between there and my style, and I think it came out really good. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. In October I decided that my Halloween piece would be the 3 characters that existed at this time for my Mascot Kai comic as the sort of 3 main-ish characters of the Amazing Digital Circus. It's not quite as simple as that, but we've seen a lot of these 3. This was so fun. I liked making Dr. Dipshit the more sympathetic character and Sporty the more antagonistic character, because it kind of flips them over, but not really taking each other's personalities because they're very different in how they act in these ways. He's a little overprotective, she's a little too boisterous and not really concerned about other people's health kind of thing, you know? Kind of inspired by the characters that they're around. November was a huge piece that took me the whole month to do, in which I drew 3 of my characters as the main characters from Neon Genesis Evangelion. This was a redraw of a specific piece that I'll try and remember to put up now, but replacing it with my characters who had quite different body shapes because they're all adults. The characters are children, and also some of them are lighter set, other heavier set than the characters that are playing, but I just wanted to do a little tribute to this after I ended up going down the rabbit hole this year of this series, and I really like how this came out, even if it was the only thing I made in November. And finally we had December. The piece I ended up picking was a character I was talking about earlier, and I was saying inspired by Moira. I got parts of her, and that is Mallory, who I am obsessed with. I absolutely love him. I'm insanely obsessed with him for some reason right now. I've just drawn him and I really want to draw him again, but instead I'm forcing myself to work on the comic, because the more of the comic that I complete, the sooner he's in it. That's how much of a motivator this character is to me. Ridiculous. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I am just obsessed with him right now, and I hope everybody else enjoyed meeting him and getting to know him a little bit. There will be videos coming up soon with my design drawing for him and then my working on the full body ref, so check that out if you want to see more about him. And I won't explain too much of that character here because that's not really what this video is for. But anyway, those were my pieces for the year. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.